What's up, guys? It's Jake from Kentucky Fried Fitness. Today, bringing you an athlete interview with Sara Willis. She is a competitive figure competitor, so we're going to go through today and ask her some questions and probe her mind a little bit, and hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so start off, just, you can go ahead and tell about your background, how long you've been training, and why you actually, decide to do competitive, figures.
Okay. Well, I've been an athlete all my life. I was an athlete year-round, so it's like I played softball in the spring, summer basketball, fall, I did volleyball, and then winter basketball, then it started all over. So when I got to college, I actually ran cross-country in the spring, cross-country in the fall, and then I played softball in the spring. So that's actually when I also started learning how to lift weights, was in college. And so I've always been used to competing, and when I got out of college, I was just kind of like, what am I going to do with myself? So I tried, like slow pitch softball, it just wasn't the same. And so I remember in college, I've always kind of had a more muscular build than the average female. And I remember in college seeing a copy of Muscle and Fitness Hers, and it had a picture of Monica Brandt on the front. And I was like, oh my gosh, there is a girl. I was like, she's beautiful and she has muscles. I was like, it's possible you can still look girly and have muscles. So that's actually how I found out about the competitions, because I remember seeing fitness shows on TV, and so when I got out of college, I kept getting the Oxygen, Muscle and Fitness Hers, all those magazines, and I learned more and more about the competitions, and I started competing in 2010.
Yeah, I think that's like a lot of people who get into like actual competitive is like, there's an athlete in, high school or college, and then, after that, if they don't make it that professional level, or at least, high-end collegiate level, they're still got that competition in them, they're still looking for that outlet. Okay, next, you are a mom. I figured you'd talk a little bit about that, because, a lot of people, I think a lot of, like, women especially, think, maybe they just don't have time, or, and you actually, just don't, stay in shape and go to the gym, you actually compete. So, and that does take a lot more time and effort and energy put into that, especially when it comes to, raising a family and supporting that, so.
Well, I have a stepson who's 14, and then I have two children. I have a 6-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old son. So they do keep me on my toes, and I think that competing, they do see me, being structured, being disciplined on a certain diet. So they do see me eating healthy, and I think that kind of hopefully instills a little bit of a healthy diet, because they'll eat fruits and vegetables. I'm not like super strict. Like, I don't make my family eat what I eat. That's my choice and my decision. So if they want to have pizza one night, I make them pizza. That's fine. But it is hard. A lot of people, competitors, there are some that do have children, and then there are some that don't, and it is hard. Like, I didn't start competing until after I had a child. And then I competed in September 2011 and really wanted to have another child. So I took the rest of 2011 and all of 2012 off, and had a baby, and then competed again in November of 2013. So all of my competitions have taken place after children, and I'm done now. But this one was actually a unique prep for my last show, because I had to bring my little boy with me to the gym almost every day. You probably saw him in here. So because we live in a rural area, there's not a lot of there are no gyms with daycare in close proximity to where I live, and so thankfully Knox Fitness has they'll allow me to bring my son, but without them, I couldn't do it. So it is good to see the kids, for them to see me competing, for them to see me with a goal and discipline and hard work. I think it hopefully will instill that in them.
Yeah, I think that's really good that they can at least still see like the values and the work ethic, but you're not pushing stuff like diet and stuff really hardcore on them. So that's a pretty good little balance, I think. Okay, so if you were to give some beginner advice to any girl that was wanting to maybe get into bikini figure or any kind of competition like that, what would just be some basic advice on where they could even start if they just had no idea?
If they had no idea, okay. There are actually a few different things I would suggest, number one, start slow. You have to start, if you are eating junk 100% of the time, you have to start making those daily changes. You have to make time. There's going to be sacrifice. There are many times I went out with friends. I had some friends, we went out, well, they went out to eat into a movie. I brought little Tupperware containers.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you have to make sure that you are mentally prepared to make this step. You need to sit down, make a checklist of the things you need, because honestly, a lot of girls might think, oh, well, you know, I just need a diet, exercise, get me a bikini and some shoes, and I'm good.
Yeah.
No, there is like a checklist of things that you don't realize you're going to need and have to do. If you've never done a show before at all, I would highly recommend you associate yourself with a coach, with nutrition, training, you know, all of that background. They need that. And I did, even though I'm a personal trainer, I still, I can't be objective when it comes to myself. So I got the help of a trainer in Ohio. His name is Mike Davies, and he helped me with, you know, with my training. I mean, it took me, you know, he's helped me with nutrition before, and for my last 2 shows, he's done my training, because I just can't be objective when it comes to myself. But I would highly recommend they get a coach. They take it slow, and they need to understand that Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah.
They did not get to where they live, and it takes time to get to where you want to be. I mean, I prepped very strictly, no cheat meals or anything for my last show, 12 weeks. So they just have to make sure they understand that it's going to take time.
Yeah, I think another thing just to kind of iterate in there was like is the cost of just anyone's want to compete, guys or girls. I mean, you gotta look. I mean, you go buy an NPC card if you're doing one of those shows. Actual entry free for the show. You go look at, like, you know, tanning. If for girls, you know, you get your hair and makeup done or whatever. You know, that's other stuff to kind of look at just for beginners.
Absolutely. I mean, a show can easily cost $1,000.
Oh yeah, it definitely can.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. So on that note of talking about shows, how much on an actual competition level do you think it is, percentage-wise, like genetics versus hard work? Like, do you think most of it is, you know, more hard work and the genetics plays kind of smaller, or, you know, just what's your opinion?
That's a very good question, and it's tough, and I might answer it one way, and somebody out there is going to be like, oh my gosh, she's so stupid.
Of course, there's always going to be random opinions out there.
Okay, I think that they're very evenly matched. I think genetics plays a little bit more of a role than hard work, because there are some people, because everybody's different. There are some people, like I said, I trained for 12 weeks, no cheat meals, and I was fine. There are some people, they'll have 1 or 2 cheat meals a week during prep, and that's just because their body can metabolize that, and it's great. So, and I can have, you know, I can hold my carbs good. I can eat carbs. There are certain foods I ate throughout my entire prep, and I still did fine. But I think that I think a good genetic base, it's a plus.
Yeah.
It's never going to hurt to have. But you really, you know, you can't just go in there based off of genetics. You have to have that hard work and that discipline and that mental strength to get in the gym, bust your butt. Because there are some girls that are very successful. They don't have the genetics that maybe the other girls are competing against have, but they're beating them because they have put in that hard work. So I think that if I had to do percentage-wise, maybe 60-40, you know, 70-30, maybe something like that. I would maybe 60-40.
I think especially, like, I mean, it's always going to play a role genetics is, but I think like competition-wise, unless you're like at the top pro, like IFBB level of any kind of like competition like that, I think that's when it's more like a significant factor.
Yeah.
And, you know, especially when people's physiques are like so, you know, up there, like you get the best in the world, you know, it's hard to judge right there. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so lastly, you know, you can talk about any future competition plans you have. So, because I know you got a YouTube channel, we'll talk about that, and you know, people want to follow you on your journey towards that competition or whatever, you know, for you to just talk about.
Okay. Well, my next show I'm going to do is actually the Arnold Amateur in March. I've never done that one before. I've actually only done one national show, and the reason I did it was because it was the last national show that I was qualified. You have to qualify to compete at a national show. So it was the last one that, because I took that time off to have a baby, This was the last one I actually had time to prepare for. So that was kind of like just kind of getting my feet wet just to see what a national show is like. This one is a big one. I am really excited about it because I've never even been to the Arnold Expo.
Yeah.
I've never been able to go to that, and so I'm excited just to be able to go to that, and that I get to compete in it because my last competition, the Ohio State, I won the overall and figure, and as part of the prize package, I guess, they are paying the way for all the overall winners of that show, their entry fee to the Arnold. So that helps. But I'm gonna compete. I'm gonna compete in that, and I just need to take time because there are certain parts of my body that I do need to work on. I really need to work on my lower body now. It took me about November of last year to September of this year to really develop my delts and the thickness in my back. Now I've got to work on increasing the size of my quads and my glute ham tie-in. I need to work on that separation a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I went to the Arnold Classic last year for the first time. It was definitely a fun experience. Hopefully I'll get to go again this year. Maybe we can just meet up and get a post-contest interview again. Check in or whatever, see what we're doing. So
absolutely.
That's pretty much it for this interview. I'm gonna let her go over some of her sponsors and her YouTube channel stuff, so you guys can get all the information you want to know about her. And so.
As far as my links go, I am an online. I do online personal training. I can do in gym personal training, but because we live in a small area, most people want online. My website is www.wonderfullymadephysiques.webs.com. I'm on Instagram and Twitter under the same handle. It's Sara, SARAW8701. I have 2 Facebook pages, one for personal training, it's Fearfully and Wonderfully Made Physiques, and the other one is my competitor page. It is NPC Figure Competitor Sara Willis, and it's Sara with no H. And as far as my sponsors go, I have some great sponsors. First Step Pro Wellness is my supplement sponsor. They are awesome. They have really, without them, I would not have been able to do the shows I've done. I also have an amazing suit sponsor, Center Stage Posing Suits. You can see the pictures online. I got my first, this is my first year being sponsored by them, and I was actually sad to send my suit back to her because I was like, it's just so pretty and sparkly. But those are my sponsors. I also work as an affiliate with Cellucor because their supplements and First Step supplements are very different. I do have a code that gets anybody 25% off anything and everything on their website. It's my Twitter and Instagram handle, so it's SaraW8701, and it works all time, anytime, on anything. But those are my links right now, and I'm just really blessed to have been able to be competing. You gotta have and another thing, going back to the beginner's advice, you need a very strong support. The very strong support, at your home, within your family. My husband, he has been amazing. He's supported and encouraged me and motivated me throughout my entire prep. So he has been a really big blessing to me. My parents and grandmother actually got to come and see my last show, so that was really good. But you do need a strong support group for you can't do it on your own. But I've been really blessed with sponsors. Knox Fitness, they're going to become my gym sponsor. So I'm really blessed by the sponsors, by my support, and God's just really blessed our efforts. So.
I'm going to leave a lot of those links that she mentioned in the description, so you can check that out. You also have a YouTube channel.
I do have a YouTube channel. Okay, I'm still kind of new at YouTube, so I think that my YouTube name it's 8701 Sara. And
I'll find her channel. I'll leave that link below too.
I'm so sorry.
You'll find that.
But
is there anything else you'd like to say?
I don't think so. I really appreciate this opportunity. This is actually my first interview, so I'm really excited.
I like to do a little bit of different stuff for my channel. I like to do some kind of vlog stuff, some instructional stuff, and then interviews and reviews, just everything fitness related. So that's really it for this interview, guys. Hopefully you can see some more from Sara eventually and some other videos. Check out all the links below. And really, that's about it, guys. Just thumbs up the video and hit that subscribe button. Peace.